Welcome to the Warrior Woodshop. We're outside the shop again for one of our trailer tips, tricks series videos. Do you have an older vehicle that only has a 4-way plug and all of your trailers now are having the 7-way RV round? Well, fortunately, they make an adapter kit, Hopkins and Kurt, where it has the 7 and the 4 built in, and then it plugs. Get the old out of the way. It has a 4-wire plug on the back, so all you really need to do is mount this to the trailer and plug it into your old system. Then, if you want to take the time to run the electric brakes, that's what the blue wire is for. If you're going to tow a camper, you're going to want to chase a wire from the battery back to the back, put a fuse on it obviously, and now you got your charging wire. Depending on the model that you get, you'll get a ground wire that's separate. I've seen some with the ground wire connected to the 4-way. This one does not have it. And then the purple or red, depending on the manufacturer, this is the reverse. On this particular truck, we are just towing single axle or tandem axle utility trailers, so no need for charging. No need for reverse, at least at this time. We'd have to tap into his reverse lights to get that done. So we're just gonna go a simple, mount this up in there. The other problem is they'd ran the old one through the spare tire socket, so we ended up having to cut it. So we're going to just solder shrink this together, wrap this wire loom it up for a later project, and we'll have a 7 and 4 that works off this truck. Again, no trailer brakes, no reverse, no charging feature, but when you need to tow a 7-way, this is the best bet. All right, normally what you would have is the plug would be attached to this, but like I said, the previous owner had run it through a hole that we couldn't just pull it back. So we've done a light test already and made sure with a, here it is, with your little circuit indicator, we make sure all these are working. Don't have the extra hands to demonstrate that, but you get the point. And that so we know they all work. We're going to ground it through the bolts that we're mounting, and we've already drilled 1 1/4-inch hole. All right, we've only drilled one hole so far because I've had, in my luck or rotten luck in history, is if I tried to mark and drill both holes, the second one walks, then only one of them lines up. So this way, I can get this one mounted and drill right through here to get the second one. So let's go ahead and tighten that one up. Let's adjust it before we snug it. And for those of you that are wondering, stainless steel fasteners, Nylog nuts, and stainless. So the next step is to go back to drilling. Okay. Another tip and trick is use some sort of, I happen to use nozzle grease for a welder. It tends to stay on the drill bit a little bit longer. Obviously, it keeps the drill bit from getting hot. But if you notice, and you can tell that's not a 1/4-inch bit. You will have better luck if you use an 1/8 and then upgrade to a 1/4 because the drill bit doesn't get as hot. It tends to last longer. Does take 2 drills, but it is what it is. All right, like I said, we changed out to a 5/32, which is 1/32 bigger. Give you a little bit of that adjustability wiggle room. So repeat the procedure until we get through. Whoa, it is on speed 1. There we are, 1/4-inch bolt, stainless again. Nylock. All right, so there's our bracket. Feed the wires through. We got some long wires here. See, those will feed through the bottom, won't they? And this one we got, like I said, we did the 7 and the 4-way. Let's go get our nuts and bolts and get that put together. Okay. So obviously we're going through the tedious process of the mounting screws. Now, a quick review. These are the 3 that we're going to use, and boo-boo. We need to mount that to the nut and bolt, so we'll have to undo one, but that's easy to fix. So that'll ground to the frame right there. Then the other 3, if you just had a regular 4-way, plug it in and this will be all done. What we're going to do is snip these 3, wrap the rest of them out of the way for later. And in the Warrior Wood Shop, one of the things we really like is soldering in our electrical, but it's tedious to bring a soldering tin and all that, so I found these solder shrinks, which are heat shrink with a ring of solder, and just use a heating gun, and it's the best of both worlds in one step. So let me snip this off. We'll bring these 2 together. All right. These one-handed wire strippers are worth the money. And those are already stripped. Okay. Color code was in good fashion. So the solder overlaps both of them. Turn the heat gun on. My trick is to heat each end first. It kind of locks the wire in place. I've had them fall out before. And I see the solder running. I've learned you got to hold it for about 30 seconds. This will become a milky white. Like right now, if I was to let go, it would just fall like wet candle wax. There we are. I'll repeat that for the other 2 wires. We'll get this regrounded and cleaned up, and we'll test and see if it all works. Got it hooked up to the ground pin. There's our marker lights. Our right signal. We got the 4-ways on, so that says we got good connection. That means it's time to wrap everything up and bundle it up so it's out of the way. All right. Remember, we got 3 wires that we're not using, but we don't want to like get rid of them because maybe in the future we add reverse lights to our trailer. So what we're going to do, or brakes, we're going to fold them back so that way we don't get any corrosion, and wrap them up in tape. And we finished up just in time and just dark enough to show you that it was a success.